Hello everyone, it's me Tiffany. Welcome to my channel where I share all things pregnancy, postpartum, and motherhood related. I'm a certified birth, postpartum, and bereavement doula. So that means I support women and their families on their journey from conception to postpartum. If you have not had a chance yet, please check out my website at www.sacredarrival.com. You can check out my doula services, childbirth education courses, and you can check out my blogs. So I've been in reproductive health since 2005. Been a doula for the past 4 years. This past weekend, this Saturday, was like the first time I've ever had to experience discrimination and like racism in the birth space, right? Well, blatant, that I could just, tell, like, what the hell, what is going on? So my beautiful client, so this whole time, number one, they've been trying to talk her into like induction like this whole time or whatnot. And she's just like, no, I don't need to be induced. My baby's fine. My baby's healthy. She was like, I'm just going to wait, until I go into labor on my own. And that's exactly what she did. So she went to the hospital early Saturday morning, about 1 a.m. She's having contractions. Well, no, she started having contractions about 1 a.m. at home. She didn't make it to the hospital until about 4. Contractions were steady, probably maybe 5-10 minutes apart when she made it to the hospital. She called me around 8 and was just like, hey, I'm in the hospital. They're going to keep me. I'm just like, okay, let me get up, get ready. I'm on my way up there. So I get there and we have this nurse, right? And as soon as I get in the room, I'm there no more than, I want to say 10 or 15 minutes. Now, during this time, right, my client has had about maybe 5 or 6 contractions. Like, she literally was having them like every 3 to 5 minutes. They were coming like back to back to back. I'm doing massage, rubbing her, trying to, help her through it. And I'm just like, well, have they offered you? Because I know she said she did want to do an epidural. So I'm just like, well, have they offered you the epidural yet? Like, did you ask? Did you say that you wanted to get this? And she was like, well, yeah, but she's acting like I have to be, a certain amount or a certain centimeters dilated before I can get the epidural. So I'm just like, okay, but you're obviously like contracting like back to back, like, something's okay. So, we're continuing to work through. She's like, I really don't think that I can, breathe through these. Like, I really want to go ahead and try to get the epidural if I can get it. So I'm like, okay. So we call the nurse in there and she tells her. And so this nurse the whole time, like her energy, her vibe, when I tell you it was off, it was like way off. And I already feel like she was discriminating against her, number one, because she was a black woman. I'm a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was, and I ain't trying to, but I'm just finna throw it out there. I mean, she was of the other persuasion. And she just had this like condescending, like, tone and this little like condescending like smirk on her face like the whole time. Whenever you would say something to her, ask her something, like it was just like this very like sinister, like evil, just like, you know what I'm saying, like kind of little smirking look. So I asked her, I said, so I said, she told me that she wanted to go ahead and have an epidural. I said, I know that she doesn't have any fluid. I said, I know she's supposed to have like a certain amount of fluids given to her before she can go through with the epidural. Y'all, if y'all could have seen her face when I said it, like she was shocked I'm sorry, like she was shocked that I even knew that. Like, honey, listen to me. I may not have RN as a title in front of my name, but I've been in healthcare for so long. I've been in so many birthing spaces. I've been with, obstetricians, gynecologists. Like, I know, how this works and what's supposed to be. Like, I'm very knowledgeable. So I know what's supposed to be happening here. You know what I'm saying? And she just had this, she like literally was like, oh, like I wasn't supposed to know what was supposed to be going on. So then she continues to say, oh, well, her contractions are from the monitor. She's only having, one contraction every 10 minutes. And I'm like, I done looked at the monitor and I'm watching her. Like, no, she's not. And she's like, oh, well, and we also we don't want to give her the epidural too soon because, she's a first time mom and it could be well until tomorrow before she gives birth to this baby. And, I don't want to give it to her too soon because it might not be as effective because, these contractions are going to get so much stronger. And I just want to make sure that, she gets it at the right time. all right, okay. So she walks out. So I'm talking to my client. I'm just like, no, you're literally, I'm standing here timing them. She's having it every 2 to 3 minutes. She had contractions while the nurse was standing in there talking to her. So I'm like, yeah, no. Then she comes back, right? And she's like, oh, I sat down at the computer and I saw that your contractions, they definitely are coming, closer than they definitely were. Would you like to go ahead and start the epidural? So then she's like, my client's like, yes. I mean, she's visibly upset and uncomfortable. Like, we've done massage, we've done everything. And my thing is, I never, ever, ever want my clients to suffer. I know that we go into the birth space and we're just like, oh, I want to do this natural. I don't want any drugs. I don't want to do anything. But when it comes down to the point where you're suffering and you're miserable and you are in, pain to where you can't take it, no, there are other options. So I'm all for it. If you want to go ahead and do the epidural, if that's what you feel like you need to do, I'm going to support that decision, because I don't want your birth experience to be traumatizing where you just, oh my gosh, I was so, pain and I was forced to, no, I don't want to do that. So she reclines my client and she checks her. And it's crazy because my client was just like, I want you to watch how she checks me. She checks me differently. It was another nurse that checked her. She said she didn't hurt. She didn't use any pressure. Like, she did good, right? So this lady checked her I'm talking about shoved her hand, like, it was assault. Honestly, that's how I feel like that's what it was. And it was to the point where my client was like literally like raising up off the bed, right? So then she takes her hand, you're about 2 centimeters. So we're going to go ahead and get this epidural since you act like you're dying. Y'all, it took everything in me not to, 1, cuss her out, 2, put my hands on her, because excuse me, Black women are dying in childbirth, and you're sitting here mocking the fact. It seemed like she was excited by the fact that my client was in pain, like she wanted her to suffer. And I'm just like, all right, nah, we ain't doing that one. So she took her gloves off, put her gloves in the trash can, and I politely looked at my client. I said, listen, I said, did you hear what she said? And she said, yes, ma'am, I heard. And she just started crying. And at that point, now you don't really upset my client, and you don't really piss me off. Okay, you've gone too far. So I'm like, if it's okay with you, I'm calling a charge nurse. She's like, yeah, please, because I don't want you dealing with my client no more, because you don't have her best interest at heart at all. And I don't know what kind of stuff you got going on or what type of stuff you on. So no, we're not doing that one. So I called a charge nurse. They were very quick. The charge nurse came in. I explained to her what was happening, and I let her know we are not comfortable. I told her Black women are dying while giving birth, and this lady is mocking her in her discomfort and her pain. I said, no, we need another nurse. So we got another nurse. Okay, got another nurse in there. We got her epidural started. We got her comfortable where she was able to rest. Literally, y'all, she went from them 2 centimeters to 6 centimeters in 2 hours, and from 6 centimeters to 10 in literally 30 minutes. So it went quick. And I know all these folks be like, oh, well, your first baby can do this. You never know what anybody, and despite how long it may take, if the person is telling you that they are in pain and they're uncomfortable and they need something, your job, I don't give a damn what kind of insurance, because I do notice that when we have clients that come in there that are not either have private insurance like Blue Cross Blue Shield, some stuff like that, if they have like TennCare, because we have TennCare and Medicaid here, it was TennCare here in Memphis, but it's Medicaid, you know what I'm saying, any type of government assistance or whatever, they automatically stereotype them, they automatically treat them different. I've been in so many spaces, even doctors. What is going on in my head here? I've been in the OBGYN offices working with OBGYNs who see what type of insurance these clients have or patients have, and as soon as they realize they have Medicaid, their demeanor and attitude and everything changes. Like, just because they are on government assistance, that they deserve something less. And it kills me, because it's just like, why does it matter? Why does it matter what type of insurance these people have? Why does it matter? You're just going to automatically judge them based on the type of insurance that they have? Anyways, so end of that, she had a healthy beautiful boy. He was 6 pounds 5 ounces. He was beautiful. He came out looking around, and he was just so like he knew his mom's voice and knew his dad's voice. He was just, it was a really good. The second set of people that we had were great. We had a wonderful, you know, physician that came in, the anesthesiologist or CRNA that did her epidural. He was great. Like, everything was good once we got rid of Cruella. So I mean, it just, but it messed me up. And you better believe, I don't know how good it's gonna be, but what good is it gonna do? But you better believe I went on Baptist website and I left a review. Yes, it was Baptist Women's Hospital here in Memphis, Tennessee. So, okay, y'all hear me. So y'all know what y'all walking into. Okay, I left a 5 review on there. I left a review on this app called Earth. So it is IRTH, and it is an app for Black and brown women where you can go on there and you can voice, you know, your opinions or concerns about specific doctors, hospitals, nurses, whoever. You can put that information on there so we can be shared, so other people know, hey, you can go to this doctor, they're great. This doctor, not so much. Okay, so I did my due diligence, but it is ridiculous that we're still going through this. It's so sad. And she just kept thanking me, like, I'm so glad you were here to advocate for me and like help me. But I mean, you don't have to thank me. People, you should always have somebody with you anyways. And it also helps to, you know, have somebody who's knowledgeable and they understand like what's going on. You know, I can only imagine, like, if I wasn't there, or if I, you know, showed up later, or, you know, something like that, what would have been the outcome. So I'm just grateful to be, you know, in a position to help. But people shouldn't be treating people like this. You shouldn't be in the healthcare field, be no nurse. If anything, you should be happy to see a doula in the room with you. Nurses have so many goddamn on patients they got to tend to. You can't be in every, I don't know if they feel like it's like competent. I don't know what it is, but honey, let me tell you, I don't want your job. I'm not there to take your job. I don't want the headache at all, because I know what y'all got to go through. So it's like, be grateful that you got somebody here that is willing to care for your patient when you're not able to. Anyway, I just had to get on here and vent about that. I'm just glad everything turned out good, and she, you know, everything was better, you know, towards the end. I had to go in the hallway and I had to pray. It was just, y'all, anyway. But I'm off my soapbox now. I just need to share my experience about what happened to me this weekend. Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot going on here lately, but I'm making it one day at a time, as all of us are. But as always, I thank you so much for watching. As always, comment, like, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.